Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for the month of April tarot oracle reading. And Scorpio, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Scorpio, we all have a little bit of Scorpio in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, where does Scorpio show up? Which house is it in? That is where this energy shows up for you. This is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, so here we go. Give it one cut here again. The energy from the bottom of the deck, this is defining the reading, is the Page of Pentacles. I'm just going to double check. Oh, good. This is good. My last reading was a little bit cut off at the top, so I want to make sure. My cat bumped the camera and it put it off. All right, so the Page of Pentacles is is about communication coming in. The Page of Pentacles, this is representing communication and information regarding the pentacle. Pentacles in the tarot are about health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional plane. A big part of that, of course, is money, but you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is about lifestyle as well. The pages would work for the king and the queen in the court, usually quite young, from 7 to 14, and they would come from the surrounding families in the area, you know, the upper class families. They would work for the king and queen and, you know, learn the ropes, and one of their biggest tasks was to deliver communication back and forth throughout the palace. When they grew up, if they were still there when they were 21 and they'd been doing a good job and they could afford a horse, they could maybe be considered for knighthood. So the Page of Pentacles is studying that pentacle because he wants to learn more about how to make more pentacles. And that's what the information will be. Now, in the old days, it would be delivered in person, but if you are looking for communication regarding your pentacles, it could be coming in person. It could be in the mail. There could be a phone call, a text message. Perhaps you're on social media and you get a message there, or you see an event and you go to the event and you end up running into someone that has the perfect information you needed to know. It could be an email. Also, the news is really good to watch, even just for about 5 minutes a day, just to be able to get an idea of what's happening at the top of the pyramid, because for sure that's going to have an effect on everyone below. Shift runs downhill. And so then we have the Page of Wands. And so the Page of Wands is the driving force behind your internal forces. Your internal forces, you can tell, because you'll be asking yourself questions like, what if they do that and I have to do this? What if that happens, and what if this happens? That kind of energy. So the internal forces you do have control over. You know, so it is about disciplining your mind, basically. The Page of Wands, just like the other page, is very focused on his element, and his element is the element of fire. He's very young, enthusiastic. He's got a feather in his cap. The pyramids in the background here represent an energy of loving to learn about about the new and the mysteries of the world, and being an explorer and an adventurer. The thing about the Page of Wands is when, as you can see, he really, really admires his wand, and this is about passion. So when he brings his information, sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt, because he quite often is thinking with his little head. All right, we do have breadcrumbing energy coming in. So what's this about? This is about these pentacles. So Scorpio, the Six of Pentacles does represent planting seeds. I think it's a good time to plant seeds for the future. But this also can represent a breadcrumbing energy, like you did plant seeds and the money isn't coming in, or the coins aren't showing up in the way that you anticipated they would or expected them to. And now, but there's enough here, like this is probably like, upper middle class earning kind of level. And there's enough here to give to charity. And this person is giving to this beggar, but not this one. This one has something in his pocket. So he's like, hey, the scales of justice are above this dude here, because he's asking for money, and he has something already that he could go and work with. So he's not going to receive from this guy. This is learning the give and take of the universe. How much are you going to invest in someone else or in something? And, what are you going to invest in? And when you do, what do you anticipate the return is going to be? Because if you have expectations of that, those expectations can create limitations if it doesn't work out. And so this is talking about some sort of limitation around the pentacles coming in, possibly breadcrumbing from someone. You may be working somewhere and you're not getting paid as much as you deserve. Yeah, oh, look at that. There we have it right there. Not getting paid as much as you deserve. Right there. And so there's 6 pentacles here, and that would represent these 6. But he's invested all those back in, and now there's only 1. And he's like, wow, where did all my money go? Like, what, like I put all my time and my money and my energy into this project, and now there's only 1 pentacle. I've got to check into this. There's something wrong here. And then we have the rebel with a cause coming in. Now, the rebel with a cause is an older version of this page. And so that he's coming in, and he is he's learned to rein his emotions in. But you can see he knows he has a temper. He's got this big plume on the back of his head. But now, and you can see that now the pyramids are in the distance. So he's already explored them and ready for another adventure for sure. And he has learned to rein his horse in and control it. This is representing emotions. This is someone who's very free-spirited and adventurous. Someone who has very passionate about what they're doing and high achievement goals. And this actually represents very clearly the energy of the fiery horse energy, which we moved into on February 17th, when it was the Chinese New Year. We moved in from the year of the snake to the year of the fiery horse energy. This is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is very similar to that fire horse energy. So in matters of love, it's very passionate and heartfelt. This is someone who likes to set really high goals, to achieve, and sometimes not give themselves enough time to reasonably complete it. So there's a danger here with this energy here and the fire horse energy of not giving yourself enough time and then trying to get it done in that time anyway, and then burning yourself out and not being able to cross the finish line. Also, there's an energy here where you do not want to be impulsive. With your temper in particular, like getting all pissed off and then, tweeting all over the internet and then finding out, oh, what you were pissed off about, it was actually AI. So, it's that kind of energy. And also, reining in your emotions and making sure you discipline your mind. And that's the end, so you don't burn yourself out. Okay, so that's the energy for the fire horse energy, as well as this energy here. And then we have the hangman. So the hangman, this is clearly you've learned this. This is good to see. Rather than like freaking out, oh, someone must, and blaming someone or whatever, really being able to look into it. So that's what the hangman does. He hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he is hanging upside down so he can gain like a different perspective. When you're hanging upside down, you see things the opposite when you're standing right side up. And so he's going to hang there until he gets his aura lights up enough that he knows, now I know what to do. This is what I'm going to do, and take action on that. Yeah, we have the wounded warrior here. So this does represent this kind of energy when I said not giving yourself enough time to reasonably complete the goals that you set for yourself, and then being burnt out in the end and just barely being able to get through it. We have 9 wands here, and there's 10 wands in the tarot. And you look how he started out, and look at him now. So this is the danger of this energy of being, just not being reasonable in your goals, and how one person could accomplish them. And this is also the wounded warrior. This is representing someone who has been determined to stay on their path, and on their destined path, on their God-given path, and they've come across quite a bit of hardship. So this is generally considered the wounded warrior. He's got a headache. he's leaning on that 9th wand heavy. But this is the one he's holding closest to his heart. And he managed to land these other ones. But look at, this is not a healthy energy to be in. You can't maintain that forever. And it doesn't look like much fun. And so we have the High Priestess coming in, and this is about needing to use your intuition to be able to get creative solutions. So using your intuition as well as your logic. And she is sitting in between those 2 extremes, basically, any 2 extremes, and getting neutral to the one on either side so that she can move forward in a strong way. And this is representing infinite potential, to the power of infinity and beyond. It's like, and it's about being in that place where you quiet your mind, you quiet your emotions, so that you can hear, your inner voice, like what is it? And if you're meditating and praying, that you can get that information that you need from source. And so she sits next to God on her throne, and she's highly intuitive. She follows the rhythm, the cycles of the moon, and because she knows when the moon is full, and the new moon, that her intuition is even extra sharp. And we do have a full moon tomorrow, and and I want to remember to tell you this, it's in the sign of, it's on April Fool's Day. So just keep that in mind, because it's so, the energy from the full moon is pretty volatile as it is. And if there's a bunch of people playing jokes on each other, until noon, remember that before you freak out. If you see something, someone might be playing a trick on you. As if we don't have enough illusions in the world right now. Got to add that to it, but so it seems. And so this is the 6 of Pentacles, is representing how you see yourself now. You see yourself as quite successful, but you want to be more successful. And you're wondering, this is about your abundance and self-worth. You're like, hey, I should have way more out of this than this. I put way more of myself into that, and I know it was good work. And this is your communication in early life. So you may have been a bit more hot-headed in that, and your first instinct is to go pound the crap out of someone. Did you take my money? No? Okay, then go find someone else. Did you take my money? Kind of that energy. So it's good. Instead, you go to the hangman position, and this is your emotional foundation. It's saying that you really have worked on your shadow side, Scorpio, because otherwise, all hell could break loose. So this is looking at it from a different perspective. And then this is about your creativity, romance, and children. This does not look like someone that is romantic at all. It looks like someone who's like tired. And so that's not the most romantic. So you want to change that. You want to present yourself more in this energy. And so if you have to take a little bit longer to accomplish something, then take the time, because it's worth it. Because then when you come to the end, you're not laying in bed for like a week, because you're so exhausted. You're out and about and enjoying your success. Then we have your health, your daily routine and habits. So this is something, type A personality, fire sign energy has a tendency to really go hard. And, there's a saying, go hard or go home. And so I get that, but it's also learning that you can pace yourself and enjoy the journey more. Because it's a lot of times the fire signs in particular are very focused on the end goal. And what about the journey getting there? You don't want to be like so focused on the end goal that you don't enjoy the journey. And then so we're going to talk about external forces now. And in the external forces, yes, see, we have someone who needs to rest now. And that's this energy coming in. Like, it's like, this is okay though. I mean, this is talking about this person went to a church to meditate and pray. So this is a good idea right now if you're feeling in this energy, because it's hard to think straight when you're in this energy and to really make strong choices because you're so exhausted. So this energy is representing, putting the swords represent your mental intelligence, your mind, and your discipline of the mind, and also this putting it to rest. So he has laid down his sword here, and this is representing that he wants to quiet his mind, and your mind should be working for you, not against you. So when you get to this point, you probably have a running tape in your head. I got to get this done. I got to get that done. That kind of energy, and it's not it's not the most powerful manifesting. This is much more powerful to intuitively know what to do next and just calmly get it done. So, but this is good. This person has decided, okay, I'm going to chill out, I'm going to rest, I'm going to meditate and pray, and I'm going to find creative solutions to my problems. We have the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind being hung on the wall here. Your subconscious mind are the thoughts that you have when you were baby to about 6 or 7. And this is heavily imprinted on you. But it's kind of funny because it's the thoughts like when you were a baby and, up to about kindergarten. And most people don't have any memory of that really. So the subconscious mind is made up of the environment that you're in. Babies just are like sponges. They suck in the information from their environment. You look at how much a baby learns to do in just the first year alone. And so this energy of the subconscious mind is actually the thoughts of the people who brought you up and what they would do in a situation, not necessarily what you would do. But this is so heavily imprinted on us that that's our go-to when we get triggered or excited or upset about something. And then a lot of people do consider themselves to be a human being with a soul, but from the soul's perspective, that's the unconscious mind. It is you are actually a soul traveling in a human body, and so your experiences that you build up in your unconscious mind are coming from the soul perspective. And if you don't do anything for your soul, eventually your soul, your subconscious or your unconscious mind is going to become very loud. And you don't, then you have this back and forth energy, like, should I do what's best in my physical world or in my spiritual world? And then we have the conscious mind, which is what you have a good grip on. So you have a handle on that. It's your memories. You actually remember yourself. You don't have to ask anybody, what was I like? You know what you were like, to a certain degree. But it's when you get these three minds working together and they're congruent with each other, and then you plug them into your heart energy, your heart authentic desires come out, and that's what you're going for. Then things just sort of fall into place in a lot easier way. And the best way to discipline your mind so that it works for you instead of against you is to go inward and meditate and pray and ask for divine intervention if you need it, asking for synchronicity from the universe, that kind of energy. The word Pax is on this stained glass window, and that represents peace. So this is wanting peace of mind. Good call. That's a good call. And then we have reconciliation. So this card has been coming up quite a little bit in these particular readings at the beginning of April. So we just had a Mercury retrograde, and when Mercury is in retrograde, this is a major external force, because the astrological forces at the end of February and the beginning of March were really, really intense and really unusual. We had 6 planets now move into Aries in the last couple months. And now we have one more towards the end of April, which I'll talk about in the next reading. But we also, so we had a lot of these planets that were in, big planets that have a heavy influence on the Earth, move into the sign of Aries. And right now we have 6 of them just moved in there. Like we have Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter and Venus with matters of love just moved in there, and yeah, it's busy in there. And the Aries energy is like a newborn infant, and there's a lot of new happening right now. And so at the same time we had Mercury in retrograde, and that's communication, the planet that's about communication. And the energy of that energy is it causes a lot of dysfunction in electronics and miscommunication. And Mercury just went direct again on the 20th of March. So it's back in communication. I've noticed it. Communication is coming in a lot cleaner now, a lot easier. But there still is this energy of people from the past coming in. And so this card is about reconciliation and sometimes reunion. And it's sort of representing that energy. And the thing is that there's all this new energy in Aries, and even the full moon's in Libra. But Libra's directly opposite on the horoscope wheel from Aries energy. Libra is all about compromise, and Aries is all about, hey, I'm going to assert myself. So it's even that this full moon is very, very good time for being able to heal different parts of your your relationship with your significant other, or even if you don't want or don't have one, to be able to maybe draw that energy in. And so this is about a lot of times the compromise and assertion. And with that, with all of that happening now, the energy of the retrograde, a lot of people from the past that maybe were significant in your life might be showing up all of a sudden, and that happens in the retrograde. And for, usually a few days after, maybe a week after, where they're still showing up and they want a second chance or whatever. And so this energy is being bucked big time by all these planets that want new. And so generally when people show you who they are the first time, you should believe them. It's not about should, but you can believe them, because they usually will show you who they are. And if you want to give someone a second chance, that's up to you. When there is reconciliation, it would imply that there would need to be forgiveness. You can forgive someone and not even tell them that you forgive them, but because forgiveness is more for you, so you're not carrying the burden of whatever the actions were. But and you can forgive someone without reconciling with them. So that this energy is saying that there might be someone that wants to reconcile with you. Or this could just be you're running into a lot of people from your past, or even from when, this is sort of when you were growing up, elementary school, high school, that kind of energy. And when you first look at this card, it's full of illusions, because when you first look at it, you think, oh, there's 2 kids playing in the yard and there's someone watching over. But then you realize that's a gnome. This is a lady. From the front, she looks like a young lady. From the back, she looks like an old hag. And the gnome's trying to give her these flowers, which don't belong to him. And the old hag is, they've got a white mitt on. And this is representing, I don't want to get my hands dirty. And she's walking away already. No, we don't want your stupid flowers. And this young woman is explaining why we don't want those flowers. She's trying to be nice. And so this is saying, are you still a people pleaser? Because beware of that energy. And then the flowers themselves, white flowers in the tarot, represent innocence. But these flowers are far from innocent, because these flowers are from the nightshade family. And they're datra, and datra is highly toxic if you ingest it. And you wouldn't let children play with this plant, nor would you have it around pets, because they can get really sick if they eat it. And sometimes shamans use datra to create visions in their ceremonies, but that's for adults, and they know what the dose is. They've been doing it for millennia. So, that there's another illusion there. And then the person in the background is actually walking away. So the whole card, it looks like one thing, but it's another. And that's kind of how the past is coming up. Sometimes, and the reason I'm taking the time to explain this to you is because this is in your partnerships, your commitments and marriage. And so there might be illusions, and this could represent some energy from your subconscious mind from when you were a child, or it's that kind of energy. So you might need some healing on some regard. Maybe something happened when you're a child and you don't know. And so this is an external force coming in. So we're going to continue here. You can't control the external forces, but you can control your reaction or your response to them. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And this means that your fortune is improving. And this is in a position of transition in your card. This is actually the Scorpio position. And so the Wheel of Fortune is actually 3 wheels in one. And it's the synchronicity coming together in the universe. And it brings the past, the present, and the future together. There's the letters on one of the wheel here, the Hebrew letters of the name of God is on there. And that is Tetragrammaton, which is a sacred geometric symbol. And in geometria, they apply number values to the letters. And when the letters are put in different combinations, surprisingly, they are very similar to the phi ratio, which is 1.618. And that's, the phi ratio, that ratio, it's like when nature manifests, it's like boxes that are nesting in each other. And one is progressively bigger than the other, but they all fit together perfectly. And this can be seen in the golden spiral, which would be like tornadoes and hurricanes. You can see it when water is going down the drain. You can see it in pineapples and cone flowers. Like there's a pattern with a spiral. And it's like different sizes, but it's similar. They all follow this similar pattern. And it's also true of the golden ratio, which we can see even in the way tree branches, like how many grow off a tree, off the offshoots, the way they do that. And the golden ratio is, you can see it in a human face, the distance from the hairline to the eyebrows, and the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose, and the bottom of the nose to the chin. And then, the size of your head to the size of your upper body to the lower body. And then you can even see it in the limbs with, your upper limbs, lower limbs, and then your hands, feet, fingers, and toes. They're all very similar. There's slight variations, but generally, that's the size that we are. And once you see that, you realize, wow, nature is really, really organized. Like everything's so organized. And this is, I found that to be very helpful, because when we live in these chaotic times and we realize, but the world is a very organized place, and that the universe is a very organized place, and that God himself is very organized. And so there is a law, an order, and a law and order to what's happening on the planet. Sometimes the planet is expanding and sometimes it's contracting. And so on the outer edges, when there's expansion, things can get a little messy, but things come back and become organized before they go back to expansion again. All right, so this card's been coming up a lot in this. It's good to see. This is victory. This is talking about gaining control of this energy, and you've managed to do that. So this is saying that you've had victory dealing with, I feel, whatever this is. And you're now being seen by a lot of the people that maybe were your competition or disgruntled by you in some way, have to admit, wow, that person does know how to lead and they did a good job and they deserve the promotion or whatever that is. And so that could be your coworkers, okay, like they grudgingly say, yeah, you deserved it, not me, kind of energy. And that is in your higher learning. And then we have all these opportunities coming in. Yeah, once you realize you're a leader, like the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And I feel like it's like understanding that, you know, you can go back to the past and that's up to you, or to a past person. And sometimes, you know, that's, if it wasn't anything, I don't feel that the energy here is saying there was anything horrible that happened with someone from your past. If you were thinking about getting back with them or something, I feel like it's maybe someone that you haven't seen for years maybe. And it could be someone from your childhood or something like that. Because it's just, this is about being burnt out. I don't see any cards here about sabotage or anything like that. But when you get into this energy here and you heal this energy, I figure maybe there was something in your childhood that you needed to work on, and you've done the shadow work and it's put you in a strong position now. So this is, you know, a lot of opportunities coming in. There's 7 there. This card's a little bit tricky though, because you have to, each of those cups has a gift in them. But you have to choose, and you know, you're like a black hole, just sucking that energy and all those opportunities. But like a black hole, you're the center of your universe. So you have to put your own spin on it. And so a lot of those cups could have, be challenges with the possibility in disguise, right? And so that energy, you have to be able to work with that and put your own special spin on it and move forward with that. But it's like those are opportunities that are open to you, and you can take them in the order you want, and you don't have to be worried about like this is destined for you. So you don't have to be like in this energy doing it. You're meant to enjoy it, basically. Those are cups. Those, you know, the cups in tarot represent love. Now I don't see a whole lot of romantic or love here. This feels more like it's about staying on your path and being in a position where you are working at a high level, being the best version of you. We have this Temperance here, and again, it's talking about staying on your journey. And as you do that, then the Wheel of Fortune turns for you. This energy and this energy and this energy are all Sagittarius, which is kind of interesting. You may be on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, because there's a lot of Sagittarius energy here, and really these are the first cups that have shown up, and that's your sign basically. And this is Sagittarius as well, but this represents an earth angel energy. So it's talking about bringing your own special talents down to earth. And the right foot is in the pool, universal pool, showing that you're pouring your own alchemy, your specialty, who you are, your special, unique talents into those cups back and forth. And then this is representing you putting your energy into the universe. And the left foot is grounded on earth. And look at the flowers are already blooming here. And this is saying stay on your path of glory. It requires patience to be on that path. But if you're on that path, then all these opportunities are going to appear. And we have the Queen of Swords at the end here. So this is about a lot of blessings coming in. And this is saying you're having the blessings coming in because you've learned how to really learn the energy of discernment very well. I feel like what this is talking about is I think the Queen of Swords is representing someone that is, she's been there, she's done that, she has a t-shirt, she has a souvenir, she's not interested in repeating any bullshit from her past. She would definitely would not be taking back someone from her past, energy that she's already had a relationship with that didn't work out. If it's someone from her past that she hasn't seen and she hasn't had a relationship, she has her left hand out, so that could be a possibility. But her head is above the clouds, and it's just saying she's clear on what she wants in her life and what she doesn't want. And so if you want to engage with her, you need to come in correct, or don't engage with her at all. It's just like, off with your head if you do. She tends to, she's considered the coldest of all the queens, but that's not her natural disposition. It's just that she's become that way from learning, about give and take, and maybe taking a loss on something she worked on really hard. And so this could be your energy here. This is the only Scorpio cup energy here. So that's why I'm wondering if maybe you're a cusper, because there's a lot of Sagittarius energy here. But in any regard, this is good advice. This is like, I don't see a whole lot of, we have the cups here, and we have the cup energy here, and the opportunities coming in. But it's not really, there's nothing saying this has to be about romantic love, even though the cups quite often are that. This could be going after what you love to do, what you love to be, that kind of energy. If you've enjoyed this reading, please do give it a like and comment, and consider subscribing if you resonate. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want more clarification here. And I feel like this is really good advice. I feel like it's basically, and it's interesting, the first half of these readings were more about the significant other, and this is more like, who cares about the significant other? Not that energy, but maybe you don't have one, and that's why. So it's dividing it up a little bit. But it's more like, what about, like, you're in a really good position to move forward career-wise, in partnerships, maybe to do with, your work, that kind of energy. Or maybe a combination of both. Maybe that's saying that your romantic energy is already where you want it to be, or that kind of energy. All right, so we're going to clarify, and I'm using my tarot, or my oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS, and it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started it in 2007, and in 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. There's some really big paintings of dragons from the future. I've had a lot of fun with it. There's, a lot of energy. I have a lot written down, and I've played with them with with people at my seminars and at psychic fairs in the past, but I didn't have all the cards. So now I have all the paintings done, and the numbers on these cards represent the energy, or the paintings as they're listed on, I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and these are the numbers of how they are listed in my gallery. So if you want to check it out, check it out. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, so it may give you further energy that you need here. We have the death and transition. So yeah, this is talking about, there's a transition regarding Pentacles. So I feel like this energy was a learning curve for you. And like, now you've learned the lesson. There's going to be more Pentacles coming in, because you're not going to burn yourself out like you did here. And with the Wheel of Fortune turning, I'm just getting that this isn't lost by any means. This is a really good lesson to learn. And you still have 7 Pentacles, which there's only 10 in the deck. You're just sad because, it could have been way better. And I can see that. But now the Wheel of Fortune's turning, and this lesson may have been so valuable for you. Everything you learned from this, that it's going to really empower you to, when you take on these other new opportunities, that you do it in a slightly different way, and you really bring those pentacles in then. And we have the energy of manifester. Yeah, I feel like you're a natural born manifester. So this energy is saying like you have the enthusiasm and the passion for it. And then we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is talking about at the beginning here, that this is shifting. And I do feel like this, like it's already coming in. And the important thing is staying on your path, not how much money you make. You could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want anyway. So I feel like you maybe enjoyed some of the adventure here anyway, and now you've learned also how better to pace yourself more than anything, I feel. And then that when it comes to the trauma queen energy, this is talking about like having drama in your life or not having drama in your life. And I just feel like when we get in this energy where we don't give ourselves enough time to accomplish what we are, right away we're setting ourselves up to either be traumatized or have drama in our lives, right? So it's kind of hold the drama, life's a slice, hold the drama, fight or flight. You know, it's some people really motivate themselves off that adrenaline rush of, okay, I got to get her done. And a lot of people will talk about that. They like that energy. It's like a bit of a rush for them, but it really, in the end, it will burn you out. It's not something you can maintain for like years and years. It's for short spurts, yeah. It's okay to be in that energy, but if you're in that energy 24/7, you know, for a couple of years, you're going to feel it. It's going to have an effect on you that's not, you know, it's not necessary for one thing. And then the battle star energy, this is about having the courage to be able to face this and say, oh, okay, like I need to rein her in a little. I feel like that's the energy. And also understanding that expectations create limitations. So if you, you know, if you put it out there, I have this great project and I'm going to get it done in 6 months when I know it should take a year, but I'm just going to give her. And you do that, you are setting yourself up for failure in some ways, because expectations always create limitations. And then if it doesn't turn out the way you thought it was going to, it's going to bother you. And maybe the way, if you would have taken a little bit more time, then you would have ended up with, you know, way more pentacles in the end. It's a learning curve. And then we have the Aries energy coming in, and I feel like that's that energy opposing, you know, compromise versus assertion. And it's also, you know, I said all those planets moved into Aries, so it's affecting all of us. But on this full moon tomorrow, remember that it is April Fool's Day. I just like, oh, on top of it with all this other energy, like, oh, it's just going to cause, I have a feeling it's going to cause a few problems. That's why I'm mentioning it again. We have the Empress energy. So the Empress is all four queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person who's a very powerful manifester. And that's because she uses her intuition as well as her logic. And she does things easy. She doesn't get herself in this state for sure. She's considered to be pregnant with possibility. And just kind of like this energy here. We have the Gemini energy coming in. And Gemini energy is talking about like when you're heading for high school, like, or I mean for kindergarten. So it's kind of like that subconscious mind and reining that in, I feel. And this is also talking, it's right here on this card here about the past, about Mercury. Remember, Mercury was in retrograde. And so for a week or so after, you know, to the end of this month, basically, it's kind of in that energy where if you're going to reconcile with people from your past, be careful about that. I just want to point out that when horoscope signs come up in a general reading like this, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the actual sign and what can we learn from it, because we all have a little bit of each sign in us, maybe not all of them, but most of them. So we can learn about that and learn the strengths and weaknesses that they learn and do a better job ourselves. And we have the High Priestess energy coming in twice here. So it's saying by using your intuition, you upgrade your energy like to an Empress energy. And you can be a male in this energy as well as a female. But this is talking about learning to manifest using your intuition and your logic. So it's easy, it's not forced. And we have that twice, and that's why the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And the sun is shining on you, being a leader and getting into that leadership role. This is God himself coming in and putting the energy into the reading, the happiest card in the deck. So saying, hey, you deserve all these opportunities coming in, and you don't need to burn yourself out. Be patient. This is the Temperance card. This is another Sagittarius card. And this is again, oh, it's up right on here. This is clarifying this. Now you know, it's saying now you know you don't need to be in this energy to with these new opportunities. Be more in this energy of Temperance, where you're patiently on your journey and you know that it's going to happen. And then look at the Hangman again is coming out, saying again, keep that balance because it's important for you. You'll find life is so much more enjoyable. And then we have the World. So that's like, wow, that's really an awesome reading, Scorpio. It's saying you're doing awesome. Chill out. That's what it's saying. You're doing a really good job. You're right on. You're on your path. You're doing good work. You're not always going to win them all. That's kind of part of life. But if you learn from it, the next time, this is not necessary. I'm getting this energy is not necessary for you to be in. Maybe at some point in your life it was, and so you figure, oh, okay, that's the way that I manifest. But it's way more fun if you manifest like the Empress, and you know, just stay on your path and enjoy the journey as well as the result. Perfect. Enjoy the journey as well as the result. I really like that. Please do give this a like and comment if you enjoyed it, got benefit from it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I would be honored. And I will be back with another astrological insight for you. That will be the middle of the month, and then I'll talk about the next planet that's moving into Aries then. All right, and remember, it's April Fool's Day tomorrow morning. Don't get your shift tied in a knot. All right, bye for now.